Did you know that most heart attacks and strokes happen in the first 3 hours after waking up? And that there are 4 morning habits that increase the risk of this happening? The most worrying part is that millions of people repeat this daily, almost automatically, convinced that it's normal or healthy. And that's the key. I'm Camilla Beller, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what the 4 dangerous habits for the heart are. Morning mistakes that cardiologists warn increase the risk of heart problems. In addition, I'm going to show you what simple changes you can make instead to protect your heart from the morning. But to lose the fear and take action, the first thing you have to do is understand what is happening to your heart when you open your eyes. While we sleep, the body enters recovery and cleaning mode. What blood pressure does is drop a little, the heartbeats calm down, and the cardiovascular system in general works in energy-saving mode, but at the exact moment you wake up, everything is going to change suddenly. What the body does is activate alert mode. The heart speeds up, a spike in high pressure occurs, and the blood becomes denser and harder to move. These sudden changes occur in all people, and in general, the body is going to handle it without any problem. The real danger appears when you add these dangerous habits that I'm going to show you. That's when the heart becomes overloaded, doesn't respond as it should, and over time, that seriously increases the risk of heart attacks and strokes. So let's go straight to see the first one. Answer quickly in the comments, please. Do you get out of bed slowly, or do you do it suddenly and abruptly? Because getting up quickly is precisely one of the most common mistakes. The alarm goes off, and within a few seconds we're already standing. Sometimes, even in a hurry, we go straight to the bathroom, to the kitchen, or we start doing things without thinking much. This seems extremely harmless. But for the heart, it can be a shock and cause heart attacks. You have to understand this. When we get up abruptly, the body has to adapt to gravity within seconds. Blood goes down toward the legs, and the heart has to work much harder to compensate. That change happening so fast can generate spikes in pressure, especially in hypertensive people, or also in those over 60, in whom the arteries tend to be much stiffer, and that adaptation is much slower and more demanding. Many people believe that having high blood pressure is always the problem, and often, obviously it is, but the sudden variations in pressure that occur in the morning are equally or even more dangerous. And now think about this. Have you ever gotten up quickly from bed and felt dizzy or unsteady or like your vision went dark for a second? That's not something minor. It's a sign that the body is going through that transition too quickly and isn't able to adapt. The problem is that most people ignore it or think it's an age-related issue, and that's a serious mistake. And now, here comes the most important part. This has a solution, and it's extremely simple. Before standing up, what you can do is stay seated on the bed for a minute or 2 minutes. You can move your feet in a circular motion. You can open and close your toes, stretch your legs. Breathe deeply and slowly 4 to 5 times. This is going to help you avoid those sudden changes in pressure, and it also reduces stress on the cardiovascular system, making everything work much more safely. Now let's move on to the second dangerous morning habit, but I want you to answer me with total seriousness. I want this to be a very interactive video where we're in communication. We wake up, and one of the first things we do, or that you do, is prepare yourself a very strong coffee, and we drink it fasting, many times even before drinking a glass of water. That's tradition, and many believe it's the healthiest thing. But after age 60, this habit can be demanding extra effort from your heart, especially if you have hypertension or have already had a heart attack or stroke. And here's the key. When we wake up, cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone, are already naturally elevated. That's the mechanism the body uses to activate itself. Now, if at that moment we add coffee on an empty stomach, the caffeine stimulates the nervous system, it can increase heart rate, and this can generate an extra spike in blood pressure. This is going to happen especially if we drink coffee on an empty stomach, because the caffeine is going to be absorbed much faster, making its effects much more intense. Many people are going to feel palpitations, nervousness, or a racing heart in the morning, and don't relate it to coffee consumed this way. Now, I want us to clarify something extremely important. This doesn't mean you have to give up coffee. On the contrary, coffee is an extremely healthy drink, and in the long term, it protects the heart. Coffee has antioxidants, and in moderate amounts of 2 to 3 cups, it tends to be safe and even beneficial for most people. The problem tends to be in the timing and the way you drink it, and in people who are more sensitive to the effects of caffeine. But the good news, as always, is that this is fixed in an extremely simple way. First, as soon as you wake up, drink a good glass of water, 250 to 350 ml. You can add a splash of lemon or a few mint leaves to make it much more refreshing. From there, you wait 20 to 30 minutes and then drink the coffee. And yes, you can always pair it with some food. For example, a banana, a handful of almonds, a slice of whole grain bread with avocado or plain yogurt, not on a completely empty stomach. This small change can have much more impact than you imagine in taking care of your heart from the very first minute of the day. Now, let's move on to the third harmful habit for the heart. This is going to surprise 90% of the people watching me, because almost everyone considers it something normal or even healthy. Answer me this: do you shower with very hot or very cold water as soon as you wake up? Many people get up, turn on the shower, and turn the knob until the water comes out very hot or very cold. It seems extremely innocent, but this mistake is one of the most dangerous ones made during the morning, according to cardiologists, especially when we're talking about people over 60 years old or if you already have hypertension, high cholesterol, or some heart problem. When we wake up, blood pressure already rises naturally and the heart is in alert mode. If we get into the shower with very hot water, the blood vessels dilate suddenly. Pressure can drop abruptly, and the heart is forced to work much faster to compensate. That sudden variation in pressure generates extra stress that in older people or those with stiff arteries can reduce the blood flow reaching the brain or the heart itself, causing heart attacks or strokes. On the other hand, if we use very cold water, exactly the opposite happens. The vessels suddenly contract, blood pressure rises like a rocket, and the heart receives a very strong spike in effort. In both cases, those sudden changes in temperature, right in the first hours of the day, when the risk is greatest, can trigger dangerous changes that increase the chance of having a heart attack or a stroke. Many patients often tell me they feel dizzy, have palpitations or chest pressure when getting out of the shower, and never relate it to the water temperature. But as always, here comes the good news. Fixing this is extremely easy. The ideal temperature to shower in the morning is lukewarm, between 36 to 38 OC, more or less your body temperature, neither too hot nor too cold. We're always going to start with lukewarm water. Let the body get used to it and avoid these extreme changes in temperature. And if you want to finish with a bit of cooler water, do it gradually, never suddenly. It's an extremely small detail, but believe me, it can make a huge difference in how your heart starts the day. We've reached the fourth habit. In my opinion, I believe it's one of the most dangerous of all. Answer me this question too. How many glasses of water do you drink upon waking up? 1, 2 glasses, 3 glasses, or none? Or many people drink just a little bit to take their pill, but barely. The mistake here is not hydrating properly, and this is a true silent time bomb. Because in many people, dehydration isn't going to hurt, doesn't cause dizziness or give warning at the moment. But every day it can be increasing the strain on the heart until the heart attack occurs. During the night, we go between 6 to 8 hours without drinking any water, and we also lose water through breathing or sweating, and we already wake up dehydrated. What happens when blood has less water? It becomes more concentrated, thicker, and slower. This forces the heart to work harder to move it. As if that weren't enough, dehydration also favors something very concerning, which is the formation of clots and thrombi that can block your arteries. Remember what I told you at the beginning of the video. In the morning, pressure already rises naturally, and cortisol is already high. If on top of that we have thicker blood, it's like putting viscous oil into an engine that's already being pushed to its limit. It can stop working at any moment. And after age 60, this becomes much more serious because the thirst mechanism loses strength. You can be dehydrated and not even realize it. The good news is that the solution is very simple, and you can start correcting it starting today. As soon as you wake up, drink a good glass of water. You can add lemon, you can add rosemary, you can add cinnamon. Afterward, keep hydrating yourself consistently throughout the day. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Most of the people watching me probably wait to be thirsty for a glass of water. What you have to do is try to drink 1 to 2 glasses of water every 2 hours during the morning and afternoon. And ideally, you should reach 5 or 6 in the evening already well hydrated, having drunk most of the water you need for the day. And at night, what you have to do is slow down the pace. Small sips only if you feel thirsty. This way, what you're going to do is keep your blood flowing well. And above all, you won't have to get up to the bathroom every so often at night. And the third point is very important. You don't need to wake up in the middle of the night to drink water. If it happens that you wake up thirsty, it's because your body didn't hydrate properly during the day. Hydrating well is key because it improves circulation, reduces blood viscosity, and lowers the strain on your heart.